Was this just some woke nonsense garbage, or was this genuinely one of the best films of the year? Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Movie Reviews. Today we watched one battle after another, and I absolutely have some thoughts on this film. Let me start by saying this. While I thought Sketch was a very fantastic, wonderful film, this is now my favorite film I have watched this year. It was incredible. And when I watched the trailers at first, I thought it was going to be but then I saw that on the trailers it said it had a 97 on Rotten Tomatoes or 98, and I was like, okay, maybe there's hope. So I didn't go in with a lot of expectations, but I was expecting to think it was better than I thought it would be. And it was much, much better than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be kind of corny and cheesy. No. So let me do the 3-minute review and then we can start with other stuff. Welcome back to another episode of Andrew's Movie Reviews. Today we watched one battle after another. And I just want to start by saying this. This is definitely my favorite film I have watched this year. It was so good. I saw the trailers first and I thought it was going to be kind of cheesy and dumb. Like kind of like a stupid Marvel like action film. You know how Marvel kind of turned into like super cheesy action films? I thought this was going to be that. And then I saw that it was 98% on Rotten Tomatoes according to the trailer. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll reframe it in my brain. And I'm so glad I gave it a chance because this was so good. So this whole movie, I mean, let's start by saying this. Movie's kind of low-key woke, right? And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I think woke movies are great. Movies are the best time to be woke because they send a message. And it's like a satirical woke, but it's so realistic that like, it's funny how accurate it is. Let's put it that way. So I don't want to spoil too much about the film or give you too many details because genuinely just watch it and understand that it's a fantastic narrative, but it sprinkles in like genuine real things that are happening around the world that are low-key terrifying. And it has a message about it. Like it portrays a type of message. But let's just say the characters are really good. The story is really good. The thing I really loved about this film is like the pacing and the timeline. Like nothing ever stops, right? Also, the suspense in the film is so good. There's this one part at the end of the film where like, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's so suspenseful. It like got me on the edge of my chair, literally. But like, I love the pacing in this film because everything is always going. There's no breaks. Everything's always going, and it's so well edited. Like it'll have this one scene and it does this one thing, and then it'll cut to another scene, and it does another thing, and then it'll cut back to the scene and like finish what they were doing, and then goes back. But like it's not like it's all on like the same time, if that makes sense. And it's so well edited, and just so much about the film is just fantastic. I cannot stress enough how much you have to watch this film. I do not want it to die. It was packed in the theater, so I know it's not gonna like. I hope it doesn't flop. Let's put it that way. Watch this film because it deserves it. The acting was fantastic. Leo DiCaprio obviously is fantastic. The story was fantastic. Paul Thomas Anderson, the director, is fantastic. Like, do yourself a favor. Drop whatever the fuck you're doing and go watch this film. So, yeah, if you guys watched it, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was some woke nonsense? Or did you actually really enjoy it? Let me know. I'm curious. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Oh, sorry, the rating. I'm giving it genuinely a 9.4 out of 10. It was fantastic. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stick around for the full review in just a second and have a fantastic rest of your day. Goodbye. Okay, so I try not to spoil or give away too many details, but this is the long part of the review, right? So we can talk about it a little bit more in depth. But like I said about the pacing, I feel like what movies have to do now to be like really good, like for example, K-pop Demon Hunter, they have to have editing that like caters to like a TikTok brain. And like it's good because I also have TikTok brain. I can appreciate a slow movie, don't get me wrong, because I appreciate movies. But like I have TikTok brain. So it's nice that this movie is always moving. Everything is so like nothing stops. And I love that because it like it's a long movie, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel boring at any point. You know what I mean? So that's what I genuinely appreciated about it. And it leaves you questioning things, and it leaves you always wanting more. And that's what I was saying about the editing, that like you would start at one scene and then it would go to a different scene, but then it would come back at some point to finish the scene it was just at. And it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't like feel like, oh, why would you cut it there? I'm pissed off. Like it like every single time it cuts away, you're happy to be back in that scene. if that makes sense, right? Like, oh, like if I have like 3 meals, there's a piece of cake, there's a hamburger from In-N-Out, or a fucking Chick-fil-A sandwich or whatever, right? Like, you give me some time on the cake, and then you pull me away, and then you put me on the fucking chicken tenders from goddamn Chick-fil-A, or chicken sandwich Chick-fil-A, and you pull me away from that, and you give me to the In-N-Out burger, and then you put me back to the cake, and you keep switching me back and forth. Like, I'm gonna enjoy all 3 of those things. I'll be happy to come back to it, but I'm excited to go back to the other stuff too. That was my fat boy representation of what I was trying to say. I hope that made sense though. So 100% the editing is such a big thing in this film. So whoever was the editor on this film, 100% deserves an Oscar in editing. I don't know if they'll give it to him, but we'll see. 100% though, it is so fucking good, the editing. Acting wise, obviously Leo DiCaprio is one of the best actors, not just of our generation, but of all time. So he does a fantastic job. And the thing about Leo, like, I like Brad Pitt as an actor, but like, I feel like Brad Pitt is just Brad Pitt in a lot of films. But like, Leo DiCaprio is like, he is the character. You know what I mean? Like, he can morph into different characters. And he does a great job of this. He feels like a fucking lunatic in this movie. And he does do lunatics pretty well in other films. Like, for example, it kind of felt Once Upon a Time in Hollywood type-ish character, but like not exactly. I feel like now that Leo's getting older, though, he's kind of being typecasted as like a crazy older person. Maybe, I don't know. But he definitely was not like Killers of the Flower Moon. What was it called? I actually didn't finish that film. I'm so sorry, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? So yeah, and then I don't know the other actors' names, but everyone did a fantastic fucking job. So yeah, I mean, at no point did any acting, even the main villain was so fucking good. I don't know where I've seen him from, but I'm sure I have, but he's just such a good fucking job. He was genuinely, like, fucking terrifying. Like, he didn't, well, yeah, he was terrifying, right? I was scared shitless seeing him on screen, but like, when he was a presence, let's put it that way. He was a fucking menacing presence the entire film. So yeah, that was super good. The writing, like I said, super fucking good. And I guess we could talk about the message, but I don't know if I want to spoil it yet. I don't know. But let's just say, well, we'll talk about spoilers, it's fine. So, spoilers. So I really liked the tension in this film. I know I'm talking about that one thing, but I want to get back to it. I want to save the serious Andrew messages for the end of the video, so I don't fucking piss people off. But actually, I don't really care if I piss people off. It's my goddamn opinion. Let's just start with the tension, right? So, like I said, the tension in this film is so fucking good. The final part where they're doing that, like, the driving section, that was some of the craziest tension I've seen in a movie. And it's so simple. Like, the location scout did a fantastic job of finding the most isolated hilly street road ever. Cause like every single time the camera was like in first person and like you can't see over the hill and you don't know what's on the other side, it fucking was it was crazy incredible. It kept me on the edge of my fucking seat. Like every time I kept looking back in the mirror, it was so claustrophobic because you don't know what's coming, and then it fucking shows the car and you're like, oh fuck, but it's far away, so it's fine. And then it gets closer and closer and closer, and then it reveals that Bob, but Leo DiCaprio was also on their tails, and it's just a fucking chase scene. One of the best car chase scenes I think I've ever seen in a movie. Not that I've watched a lot of car chase scenes. I feel like it's more like straight out like 70s movies or like early 80s action movies. But this shit was fucking crazy. I love the cinematography on this film. But like, there was so much great tension in this movie. 100%. Like, that was my favorite part. But throughout the film, there's such great tension. Like I said, it kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. But I guess let's talk about the serious stuff, right? So, like I said, this movie, I don't want to say the word woke because I feel like woke is such a I don't say derogatory, but like when people hear the word woke, they're either getting pissed off or they're loving it, right? So, I think genuinely this movie might piss some people off in the absolute best way. So, this movie is like, basically the bad guys are like a representation of ICE. And a lot of the characters are like in a universe that like represents like illegal immigrants or just Mexican people in general, right? Because there's a whole plot point where like they raid the town, obviously, and then they have to like move all the immigrants out and rush them away. And like while watching it, like it's super tense, but then it kind of like fucking hit me that like, holy shit, like this is genuinely how it probably happens. Like, yeah, I guess it's an over dramatification. Is that a word? Over-dramatification of like the actual events, but like shit like this happens all the time in our fucking country. And like it made me think that like, do things like this, well, like, how do I explain it? Like, I guess it was just like crazy to me to think about that like shit like this happens almost maybe every single day. And like, I feel like at some point some people walked out of the theater at that point. I don't know if they were like, I don't want to like assume they were fucking like MAGA people and like they were like, oh, this is some woke liberal bullshit. I don't want to assume that, but let's just say there were some certain people that might have left mid-movie. But I don't know, bro. It was so fucking real. It just hit me. I was like, holy fuck. Like, this shit genuinely happens in real life, and it's scary. It's genuinely fucking scary that like people are forced to like fucking live this certain kind of lifestyle because we've like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but let's just say we have it out for them as a country. And me, because I'm half white, half Mexican, right? And I have people on the Mexican side that live in Mexico. And like, obviously I'm like, I don't want to say I'm super in touch with my Mexican side, but like, I love who I am. I love my family. I love where I've come from. Like, I have full respect for culture and everything. I try to, at least, right? But I'm also a white side, so I have that privilege of being half white. So like, I don't want to get too deep into family stuff, but like, let's just say I have both perspectives in my family. Let's put it that way. So seeing like and I don't even want to call it an over-dramatification of the white side of the film, but like, it's not, to be honest. Like, there's absolutely people out there that are exactly like the way they are in this film. And I'm not saying that all fucking white people are bad, because they're not, right? Like, my family's half white. My family isn't a piece of shit. Like, I don't have pieces of shit people in my family. Just because they're white doesn't mean they are, right? Does that mean they have certain privileges? Obviously, absolutely. But to know that like when you watch this film and they like kind of play it off like, hey, this is an over-exaggeration, but like in the back of your mind you're like, no, it's not. There's absolutely people out there like this, and they want to hurt other people. And it's like, at that sense, it's like I feel like people don't really like say for example, that lady who like raided the Hyundai, was a Hyundai in Georgia. Like, I don't think she understood the ramifications of what she did. I think she likes the result. You know what I mean? But she doesn't understand the families it ruins. She doesn't understand the violence that goes into it. She doesn't understand the heartbreak. She only understands the result. And it's fucked up. It is absolutely fucked up. And that's the kind of country we live in right now, where things are kind of fucked up. And this film, I feel like, will do a fantastic job. It's gonna be fucking called woke liberal garbage, and that's fine. There's so much hate in this world that like the kindness 100% gets buried. Like, it is so much easier to spread hate than it is to spread kindness. That's the kind of world we live in. So I want this film I want people to watch this film and be like, holy fuck, things like this happen all the time and we allow it. You know what I mean? I know I'm getting super political. I'm so sorry. But this is a movie review channel. Andrew, shut the fuck up. But I think it's important. I think this movie is important, not just because it's really fucking good, but it's really important because it can be eye-opening to people. In my opinion. We'll wrap it up there because I'm getting too long. But let me know what you guys think. Am I completely off basis? I know I'm really bad at like putting together coherent sentences that explain serious tones. But like, I hope you get the idea I'm trying to make, right? I hope you get the idea. But yeah, did you guys like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? I gave it a 9.4. I'm a standby. Favorite film I've seen this year. I would absolutely watch it again, not just like this year. Like, not just in general, but I would watch it again in theaters with my friends. I watched it in IMAX. It was super good. It's not really necessary. It was also loud as fucking IMAX. Like, every single gunshot hurt my fucking ears. Like, it's cool. It's immersive, but don't give me fucking hearing damage. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and go watch some movies.